It's a casualty with Amon and B. 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 It's a casualty.
And we are back with this month's casualty. I'm so excited. Amon could not be here. And I was thinking, well, we'll just wait another month. But I keep telling the Purple Pants Posse, I'm going to be putting out my casualties. And so I text a friend and I said, hey, friend. Friend texted back and said, hey, boo. I said, you want to kiki? My friend said, yes, yes. So I'm so excited. Welcome to the Purple Pants Podcast. My friend Say from season 49 of Survivor. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hello. I wish I was a part of 49, but also...
Oh my God.
Thank you for casting me for future seasons. I appreciate it.
39, excuse me.
48.
48, child. Child, 48, 39, 41, 56. Okay,
you
listen.
want to see more of me. I get it.
We absolutely do. But how are you? How is your summer been?
It's been so amazing. I literally am it's so nice. I don't think people talk about it enough to get off of Survivor and then be done with Survivor and have your real life back. Like, I love my real life.
Wednesdays, they're not as stressful as...
Which y'all did not prepare me for. This community did not prepare me for the stress you feel when a Wednesday, like I would have so much anxiety on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then even on Thursday, because then people are having all their think pieces online about this stuff. And I'm like, I'm so glad this is over. I can't wait for 49 to air. Not because I'm watching it, but because it is your turn now.
Yes. Well, see, they don't prepare you because it's like you stress out. You'll start stressing Tuesday about like, what's the episode going to give? Then Wednesday, the episode is. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you got to listen to the people that never played, tell you how you should have, would have played. And then by the time your system calmed down on a Sunday, Monday, the anxiety starts up again on Tuesday. So it's a lot.
Yes.
And so I received that and see that. So what you mean you're not watching 39?
49? I don't know if you're going to watch it either. I think you're going to be watching 39. But I just need a break. Like, I cannot consume Survivor no more. Because I really want to prepare for 50. 50, I'm going to be tuned in because I actually have so many people I'm rooting for. But 49, I'm sorry. You're to the win. For me, I'm sure it's going to be great, but I cannot. It's too close to home. I think
it's a lot. I also think sometimes when you're on the other side of it, I think you learn to enjoy it again. It doesn't have such a high stake, and you can be a cheerleader and welcome in the new say of the seasons, because I'm sure and your own lived experience, I feel like, is the best part of Survivor, is that like when you meet the new cast or people, you can kind of give them your advice and you can connect, like we're connecting, right? Like how the moment I saw you on my screen, I said, oh, she's my people. Okay, like I love her damn.
I watched it back and I was like, you can tell I grew up in Philadelphia, and that is almost a blessing and a curse, because there were so many things that I was saying. I was like, I'm from Philly. She's from Philly. But when you played, did you end up watching the show right after you watched the next season?
I did watch the next season. So, girl, I mean, I ain't make it as far as you, so my time was a little more brief, but I did watch the next season because I was like excited to just see another season that didn't have anything to do with it. So I did watch the next season and the next season and the next season.
I'm impressed.
So, but no, it's a lot. And again, I think times have changed, right? So it's like, I don't think necessarily for me. So first of all, I don't want to age myself because I'm a young tenderoni, but during the time that I played, the social media presence wasn't as strong as it is now, in the sense of, there might have been 17 pieces. Now it's 3,700 and everybody got something.
I envy that, though. I wish I played when social media wasn't as big and all of the things. because you could just be done with it. I've spoken about this before, but you could just be done with the game. I didn't realize that social media would have such an impact on like how, not necessarily how I perceive myself, but like it dampened my lived experience. I was like, damn, like I have fun and y'all really trying to convince me I didn't have fun.
And that's the sucky part about it. But you also have to remember that you did have fun, right? And it's like, y'all not going to tell me what my experience is. And I feel like I've talked to many players that sometimes another drawback that people have is that some players will go out and they will play for social media and the fans. And that is an interesting nuance that it's hard because obviously you on the other side know it, but if you speak out, then you a hater or like, so it's like so it's like, it's all of these things that you have to navigate while still trying to not save face, but still trying to be like upbeat about everything, but also.
Oh, God, you are literally living in my brain. You have no idea. I don't talk about it much. So when I do get a chance to talk about it with people who have played the game, it's very different. Like you have a different perspective. It's very easy from home for people to be like, no, get over it. But when you have this lived experience, this shared lived experience on many different levels, if you understand what I'm saying, the community that received me from Survivor that looks like me, I love down. Like I love every single one of them. I'm still trying to navigate the Survivor community and as a whole because it's just different by people. But yeah, everything you said took the words right out of my mouth.
And so and then you have to remind yourself, like, wait a minute. First of all, I played my dream game. First of all, I killed it. I was a threat. These MFs was coming at me, and then like like you was saying on your TikToks and your Twitter, you said the season got a little. Okay, because I was living for the say TikTok edits. I was living for the say on top. And so for me, that's kind of like my favorite part of the seasons when you get to see the people and what they like, how they handle it. I think it's always something fun. But enough about Survivor. Since you're not watching 38 or 49. I'm excited because I've got a couple of things I want to talk about today. But I just need to know, you're from Philly and
from Philly. I don't like it when people claim Philly and they're not actually from Philadelphia.
Well, okay, because some people be in Delaware County, some people be in New Jersey, some people be in that's not Philly. Philly born and raised. But I feel like you would have to be similar to me. Beyonce just wrapped up her Cowboy Carter tour. And did you go to Cowboy Carter?
She did it too close to Renaissance. I was living for Renaissance. I have floor seats. I had my best life. I was like, listen, you either owe the IRS soon, and that's why you're having these concerts back to back, but I'm gonna have to watch it live on TikTok because literally everybody is streaming live when they go to the concert. I might as well just watch it online.
Baby, I had some of the best seats right up on the TikTok live, but I actually did go to the Cowboy Carter tour, and it was amazing. Now, Cowboy Carter isn't my favorite Beyonce album. I'm more of like a Dangerously in Love, For Lemonade, self-titled, but loved Renaissance. And so I got into Cowboy Carter and actually seeing the tour, like with anything Beyonce does, you immerse yourself, you just see the amazingness. And she wrapped up the Cowboy Carter tour last week in Vegas, and I was up, say, 2:30 in the morning watching these TikTok lives, just trying to just get the last little bit of it. And around 3:05, I was like, all right, I've seen enough. I'm like, all right, let me just, I'm gonna go to sleep now. And I heard Child of Destiny. I said, no, wait a minute. And she brought out Destiny's Child and say,
they look so good. They do not age like at all.
Like a bottle of fine wine. I'm not in the Beehive per se. I'm a Destiny's Child girly. Like that's my judge. And so to see Destiny's Child pop up on my screen was just so nostalgic, so amazing. The last time they performed together was at Beyonce's Coachella. And so it just was so amazing. What was your thoughts to seeing Destiny's Child, the Cowboy Carter tour?
I think the legacy of Destiny's Child is a testament. The fact that she can go on a solo tour and still bring the band back together, and people are still excited to see the unity amongst them. Like every single time the crowd goes wild. It brings out the young girl in me when we actually had fashion and style. Like we would know all the lyrics word for word. Like that is the era that I live for. We always want them to do a comeback tour. So she's just giving us a little hint of it, and she knows what we want. Like the uniforms, the outfits, always. I'm like, I can't. I remember when they wore that all denim. I'm awful at where I was in that time of life. But like, I live for Destiny's Child. I live for them.
I love. And so then people start speculating. She's done house music. She's entered into country, and people are speculating for Act 3 that it will be rock. And the Betty Black tour. There's Tina Turner, all of these pioneer women in the rock genre. And then people are also saying, could Act 3 be DC3, Destiny's Child? Now, I want a Destiny's Child album. I just want Beyonce to get Act 3 done, get that tour out the way, then just give us our Destiny's Child farewell final tour. I keep saying I want to go to a Destiny's Child concert before I'm like 50.
Please.
Because I don't want to be shaking ass when I'm 50. I feel like I got to do that when I'm a little younger. But what is so interesting is that during this segment that they brought out Destiny's Child, it was like she did Energy. And after Energy, she normally brings out Blue Ivy, and Blue Ivy does her Beyonce homage to Deja Vu. And so after Destiny's Child finished their performance, they're walking off the stage, and Beyonce says, "Give it up for Destiny's Child." And Blue Ivy emerges from the stage.
That's
and
crazy.
Everyone, it's just crazy when you think about it. Like, she wasn't saying like give it up for us as Destiny's Child. She's saying like give it up for Destiny's Child, which is so crazy. And there are a lot of think pieces on the TikTok and internet about Blue Ivy. And I've been to the Cowboy Carter tour, and the way that Blue Ivy is such an intricate role into this tour. And even when she does this Deja Vu moment, there is on the screen, the background is like young Destiny's Child as they're like preparing to go on tour. And we just see young clips of them. And it really is like they are rolling Blue Ivy out. And, people speculate that she could sing, but we the people haven't heard her voice at all. And if you know anything about Beyonce, she's very intentional.
Okay, wait. Can I say something? First of all, the fact that she cleared the stage of Destiny, you cleared the stage of Destiny's Child and gave us your child. We know Beyonce historically is very protective and private. The one time we get a peek behind her curtain into her life, oftentimes like when she'll go do her concerts, she'll roll out clips of like her actual personal life of her kids. The accessibility with, she's very meticulous of giving us a peek behind the curtain into her life with her kids is very intentional. So if she's clearing the stage of Destiny's Child and let her child come out, the next thing that Blue is going to do is going to be big. It's going to be supported by so many other big names that we can only imagine. And we're just along for the ride. It's insane that she came out after them. That's crazy. We could have ended the show with just Destiny's Child. She was like, no.
My daughter got to come out. And that's what is so crazy. Is that like, and she's so intentional. And we know that Destiny's Child back in the day when there was 4 of them, shout out to my little Destiny's Child shirt, they were in the Matthew Knowles boot camp. They like past interviews, they would say they would have to be on treadmills in the summer singing full out. Like Beyonce was like, our dad fully prepared us. And so it's crazy that in real time we see Blue Ivy in the Matthew Knowles boot camp. We saw it last tour. You saw she was only supposed to come out for one stop, but then people was like, oh, she's stiff. She can't dance. Blue took it in and she started killing it. And now she's such an intricate role. It just, I don't want to get like sappy, but again, me growing up, like my girl group was Destiny's Child. Like when I tell you I loved me some Destiny's Child. And so to think that 25 years later, you know, Beyonce is the biggest superstar ever. Her daughter, like we're watching the next generation. It really just puts into perspective like time and just like what legacy means. And I don't know, sometimes it gets me like emotional because I just feel like, well, damn, what's my legacy going to be like? It just is, I don't know. It's just so weird, but also I'm just so happy because it's like, I feel like Blue Ivy is our niece, you know, like
literally we're raising her. Okay. But also when she's giving so much airtime to Blue, I'm like, are we on the crux of Beyonce retiring? Because literally I can't, I was having this discussion with someone because I've been to almost all of her concerts. The style in which she does her concert has changed a little bit. There's not as much dancing or hoop hop all around. It's more vocals, a lot more soft ballads than we're used to. The ones that we love, of course, like Dangerously, all of those things, you know. But I'm like, we're getting so much exposure to Blue when you were super protective of her that I know you are about to retire. But I'm nervous. I'm really nervous for a retirement from Beyonce. I'm never going to see somebody die. Like all the way throughout their, not die like that, but like I want to see her all the way through.
But it's so reflective though, because I went to Renaissance, I went to this tour, right? This tour, like you said, she's not like, you know, it's very meticulous how, and she's still dancing, she's still giving us a performance, but she getting on that horse, she getting on the car. She's like, it's crazy because it to me personally, I do feel like the next album, she will tour, but I feel like that is the last time Beyonce is going to tour in this capacity as to how she's touring. And a lot of times when we're reclaiming like our Blackness in house music and we're reclaiming our Blackness in country music, Beyonce kind of talks about this. And just even when we talk about the genres of these other artists, a lot of our greats die young. A lot of our greats die in debt. There's like a lot of sadness to that. And so I love the fact that but if she really is thinking about kind of ending what we know of Beyonce after this third album, I love it, because how many times do we get to see our greatest go out at the top and lead, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
but
just
also, let's talk. We need to give props to Blue. Like, you are stepping into big, like massive shoes, and you haven't stirred away from it. You haven't been like, no, that's not something I want to do because my mom's done it. Like, she's taking on the challenge. So I'm so excited to see all the places she'll go. Like, you obviously want to do something in entertainment, and we don't know what she's capable of. She could probably be the next Mariah Carey. We do not know. And that's the beauty of it. Like, I'm excited to see.
And it just makes you it's just crazy. Like, wow, time is really passing, and we are really watching someone pass the torch, like physically and like spiritually. So it's exciting. I just was so hyped that I was like, yes, Destiny Child. I had to talk about it, which also was something so interesting was Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams has always been my favorite Destiny Child member. I'm always like an underdog. I always root for the underdog. And we all know 20 years ago on 106 & Park, Michelle took a tumble while they were performing Soldier. And so during my TikTok runs of watching, every time it would pop up, I would watch it. And I would see as they're walking down the steps, you can kind of see Michelle looking at the steps. And I'm like, girl. And so she actually went on her podcast checking in with Michelle Williams, and she talked about it. She said she is traumatized from 106 & Park. And she was like, when I got out there, she was like, yeah, I was looking down at the steps because I didn't trust the steps. And so she was like, I even had Ty there, fashion wardrobe person. She was like, I need for you to cut this fringe at the bottom of my pants because I can't be tripped up. And she's like, I can't live another 20 years of me falling on my face. And so it's just so crazy to think that something 20 years ago still kind of haunts her. She said when she gets on the stage with the girls, she still thinks about it to this day. However, she said after that first step, she got through it and she killed it, which I love. Is like a testimony to everybody. We all have like our own fears
Yes.
and in our own heads, but we got to step out on
And
faith
she's
sometimes.
rewriting it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that haunted you, but then you still came back. And now we have something else to look forward to.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, Michelle, I hope this Destiny's Child album is coming. And speaking of jeans and passing the torch, American Eagle girl is in some hot water. My girl from Euphoria, Sydney Sweeney, premiered a new American Eagle ad, and it was interesting. Some of the things she said in the ad were genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. Sweeney says in one clip, my genes are blue. And I think surface level, okay, we get it. Genes, but clearly in here you're talking genes, Genes, when you're talking about traits of hair color, personality. And here we have this clearly white woman, blue eyes, and kind of essentially saying like her genes are better. Like, you know, she has the best genes. And it took social media by storm. Social media was not excited about this. And the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, I don't really get it. And then I started seeing what people are writing, and especially in this political climate that we are in, this administration that is currently in office that is literally erasing Black history out of textbooks. We're deporting people of color in this social climate that we are in. It just doesn't seem appropriate. And a lot of people on the internet were saying like this had to go through at least 200 people. Like it had to go through marketing. It had the people that pitched the idea, then they go through another, and no one thought to be like, maybe we should tweak this a little bit. Maybe we should.
And what's crazy, there's a few things to unpack here. As someone who's worked in marketing, especially entertainment marketing, because she is an entertainment figure, you're just doing a collaboration. The discouraging part for me was the rounds of approvals that I knew this went through. It showed me that the people at the top are very disconnected from their audience, their market, their fan base, or their market, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what words you use, that you are so out of touch that y'all sat in that room, that boardroom, and all were like, we love this. This is a great idea. Your authentic features, those are more superior. Like, that is insane. Do you know who are buying your jeans in the store? I want you to just touch grass, go to one of your actual stores and see who's in your marketplace. Like, that turned me so off. But I will say there's a great space for other jean brands to capitalize on all of the people that American Eagle left out of the conversation with this. And Sydney, she, to me, will do anything. She will do anything, and that is sad because her team, she needs to have a team that's more selective in the things that she does. She oftentimes does a lot of these things that are very sexualized, puts her in these like weird, uncomfortable spaces for us as consumers to like, I cannot relate to a Sydney Sweeney. I never will, never have been able to, and it just turned me all the way off from the brand and her, both of the brands. It was just too much.
Yeah, it just was. And again, in this political climate, right? Like where we see what is happening. And then someone even went to the lengths of pulling up the American Eagle like board, and it's all white men and women. Like, so there's no color, there's no diversity. We see exactly what happens. Some people even online were talking about like, this is like Nazi propaganda. This is like the things that they used during that period to say like, this is the superior race. And although I do see a lot of people saying like, oh, you're taking this too serious. It's too literal. It's a play. And yeah, I get that. But also, on other people's lived experiences, like when we see something like that, like it kind of just gives you the ick a little bit, and rightfully so. But American Eagle has backed, they had put out a statement, and essentially they were standing 10 toes down on the subject, saying that Sydney Sweeney has great genes. The campaign creates a pun around great genes, which ignite, which, no, that ain't what I want to say. They basically essentially saying they standing by her and it's about the great genes and she has great genes, American Eagle genes. Baby, get up out my face with that. Also, which was very interesting, one of my former favorite actors from the summer I turned pretty, Gavin, the same day Dunkin' Donuts released the ad with Gavin talking about jeans in their ad. And so people are like, this is seeming to be a little calculated. In the ad, Gavin says, I can't help it every time. Or look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. I just kind of happened. This tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. And guess what? Golden summer, literally. And so again, slight things, but like 2 ads talking about genetics and both.
Yes. Let's get away from the wordplay. What happened to the commercials or the ads that were just about the product? Let's go back to there. Not everything needs to be a collaboration. And I think that the sooner these brands realize that in your boardroom, in the workplaces, if you don't have people that reflect the campaigns you're putting together, it's never going to work. Like, these are always going to be big swings that you are missing. And another person who I think we need more of in these spaces is Bose. We need the Boses of the world in these rooms telling them like, oh yeah, maybe we don't need to play on genetics. I don't think this is the right time. But also it is a correlation to our political climate. I hate the way people try to be like, it has nothing to do with the other. It's always. Our politics allow us a certain level of comfortability around conversations that we have. We're much more bold in this political climate to say things that we were not as bold to say in the Obama administration. Like, that's just is what it is. Like, and this is such a good conversation. You found some really good topics because I wasn't as familiar with the Summer I Turned Pretty until I saw the Dunkin' ad. And then I went to go watch the show just a little bit. But that is what these ads are doing. You're giving these people even more of a platform because the people who, like me, who don't know these people, then go into a deep dive into their network and then look at other works that they've done. So you do have a bigger role to play. And if you're not using your platform appropriately, it can be very damaging. And that's what we're seeing with the Sydney Sweeney. This was damaging. Like, I don't care what nobody on her team tried to convince her. Nobody from American Eagle can convince me that this was a good thing. Like, you have no choice but to stand 10 toes down because that's what you spent billions of dollars on this campaign. So you're going to run all of those Force 15s, those Force 30 ads that you want us to see. Put them on bus kings because you spent the money. It's not because you actually stand behind the messaging. You got the kickback, but you've already invested all that money. You're not getting refunds. That's not how it works in marketing. So this is such a good topic. I'm so glad you even let me talk about it.
Yes. And so, like you said before, Old Navy and Abercrombie ain't waste no time because Old Navy the next day put out an ad say, these are the jeans your other jeans warned you about. All the washes, all the size, every style, fit to flaunt. So, okay, not these are the jeans the other jeans warned you about, a play on the same thing, but they get it. And of course, Old Navy puts a woman of color in their imaging, which is very interesting. And Abercrombie said, let us join the party. And Abercrombie puts out these models, which we see all different shapes, sizes, and colors in this new jean ad that they have for, I believe it's like S3, which is like the back to school quarter. But I'm also like, Abercrombie, don't join in too quick because we've seen the documentary of your founder and owner. So like, not too much, Abercrombie, but like you said, a perfect time for these other jean companies to come in and be like, hey, this is what an actual diverse ad can look like. And I even think with the Sydney Sweeney ad, like, if you had multiple women of color, of different shades, white, Asian, Latino, Black, like something like that could have been better, but just kind of to miss the whole mark was just really weird. And and for me, again, at first sight, like I was like, I don't
I'm waiting for Levi to jump in on the conversation with that Beyonce song and just like kind of blow it all out of the water. I'm like, I know
That
they're working on it and they should be, because that is a woman and that is somebody we all can relate to. And maybe get some other people, like you said, Asian, Latina, X, like all of those things. And then that'll spark some real conversation. Like, by Abercrombie, you thought she was really doing something with this Sydney Sweeney thing, and it just backfired, which is it's great because it did spark conversation. Probably
right.
conversation they were hoping, but it did spark a conversation and some think pieces. I enjoy the think pieces. I love it when people actually are consuming their media and thinking about what their media is trying to tell them how they should feel, because we weren't doing that a lot of the times. Like when I was growing up, we were just consuming it and like, oh, okay, I'm gonna fry my hair off because this girl has straight hair all of the time. Like, no, my hair is actually still nice because this other ad by ColourPop is telling me that like I can be, or the Shea Moisture ad is telling me that I'm okay the way I am. So I enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah. And even when you even talk about that, like Good Hair by Chris Rock, when he did that, like when you see these ads with Sydney Sweeney talk about my jeans, good jeans, right? Like, what does that say to the black girl that's sitting at home with 4C hair? Like, is her jeans not good? Like, it just reinforces a lot of other things. And no, baby, your hair is beautiful. 4C is beautiful, curly, and we love it. But it just, and I don't even want to go, because, well, first of all, this is the casualty, and this is where we could kind of go. But the conversation even has me thinking, like, when we talk about work professional attire, like what we deem professional in the workspace, right? Like, because that real, like, let's talk about it for a second, because we know what that is. Or like, your hair is not a professional. I'm wearing my hair natural. How is my natural hair not professional? Like, it just is these, and I don't even want to say microaggressions, but it is this systemic racism that is through and through our country. It's through and through like everything. And sometimes I hate when people are like, why do you have to make everything about race? Because everything is.
It literally is about, it's rooted in that. Why do you think they chose Sydney Sweeney? They could have chose anybody else. They could have done multiple people. Why do you think that they chose Sydney to talk about jeans? Because that is a reflection of them. Everybody in that boardroom looks like Sydney Sweeney, maybe the male version or the female version. That is how they relate to but that is not the brand's relation to the community. Like, and that comes from having a diverse group of people in the spaces that they're navigating in the boardroom on these higher positions, like you mentioned. Like, this is such a important conversation that you're bringing up in relation to the ad, to the Sydney Sweeney ad. And I think you hit it right on the nose when you said that. I hate it when people say, why do you have to bring race into, because that is what it's about. And the quicker we have these uncomfortable conversations, the quicker we can make better ads. We will never have to have another Sydney Sweeney ad if we have these conversations.
But in this political climate, I won't hold my
back on DEI, and now we got to
talk about it, girl.
It's crazy. And at some point on another one of your podcasts, you need to talk about, if you're comfortable, the DEI pullback, which I just now started catching on to that CBS is doing, because they're coming under Skydance's umbrella. But when you get a chance, y'all need to talk about that, because I'm just now diving into it. I don't know all of the things. But then after I started reading some of these articles, and I know, and we'll move on, I swear I know this isn't about this. But when I looked at the cast of 50, I was like, damn, like y'all took no time to pull back. Y'all really did.
I see you are watching Big Brother, because I follow your TikTok. This is your first season of watching Big Brother. Take a look at this season Big Brother cast. Look at it. Looks a little different. Yeah, no, that's definitely a conversation to be had. Maybe not today, but very, very interesting times. Another thing that's brewing hot. We're not even that brewing hot, but Deion Sanders. And mind you, I've come to really love Deion Sanders because he is a character in his own right. Like, and I've just really kind of gotten into him in the last year and a half. But I loved him going to the HBCU, bringing all of the Black players, making HBCU football a really big thing, and then going to a main, or whatever they call it, a D1 university. And so he has his two sons, well, three, I think, is Shiloh, Shedeur, and another one. But he had to have his toes amputated, I think, last year. And then this year, they found a lump in his prostate. And so he had to have his prostate removed. And this documentary that he had put out this week or last week called For Your Glory, and just talking about him having to have his prostate removed and all this stuff. But what social media was talking about was our girl Karrueche. We know Karrueche from Chris Brown, from Victor Cruz, from acting.
Yeah.
She in the hospital crying, talking about like the surgery, and she'd been there all night. And you know, she seemed really cared, and like she seemed like she had compassion. But we are like, Ariana, girl, what are you doing here?
She seemed really invested. It caught me by surprise because, like, usually she's very public with all of her. And I don't know if they're in a relationship. I'm just, I'm speculating because the video was very touching and you're very intentional with all of your other posts and all of your previous relationships. That if you go public and you're seen with another sex, the opposite sex, and he's successful, we are going to jump to conclusions that you're with this man and you are in a hospital room. That is the most vulnerable place. Like, that's where you invite your closest family members, your significant other. So like, you're not family members, so you got to be the significant other part of it. It caught me all the way off guard, and I think it's because I just didn't see Deion for her. I just didn't. Like, you go from Chris Brown, Victor Cruz to this. Like, it just didn't make sense to me.
Me either. And there's probably like a 25-year age gap. The man ain't got no toes.
No bladder.
He ain't got no bladder. He got a colostomy bag now. Like, but love is love. And so, but just was really interesting just to kind of see that. I kind of was like, what is going on here? But one thing about Deion Sanders, though, he got a little coin. He got
Listen, she knows what she's doing. Like, if nothing else, she's always getting the ones that can take care of her. And like, kudos to you. Love that. Love is love. All of the things. But this was like the weirdest hard launch I've ever seen. I was like, oh,
like, we gotta learn that y'all is dating because his bladder got removed. Like, y'all couldn't have did an Instagram post the week before.
Y'all couldn't have gone live. Like, I just was like, I thought we were hard launching on red carpet, but now we're doing it in the hot. Like, this is too much. It's just too much for me.
I just was like, well, when I get me a man, like my heart, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do for my heart launch. But it was so weird because the documentary dropped, right? Like, and then people are watching it, and then people are like, wait a minute. And I kept seeing the clip on like TikTok, but I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not sure what Karrueche is doing in the hospital, but I'm like, scroll. And I keep seeing it. And then I stopped to listen and I was like, wait a minute. Wait, she's in the hospital because somebody got their bladder removed. I'm like, didn't Deion Sanders just get his bladder removed? Like, what? And so neither of them have confirmed or denied that they're dating. But I mean, like, let's be real. Like, what, like,
do we need it? Do we need confirmation? You're in the hospital with this man. There's so many other things she could be doing. She just launched a skincare line. Like, don't you have a board meeting to be in? It was just crazy. And I was like, girl, you're losing me. We're losing the plot just a little.
Right. But listen, if love is the plot, and I mean, yeah, it says a lot. And yeah, through thick and thin.
Happy. Through hospital. And you said it perfectly. We're gonna have to get a little more creative with our hard launches. I'm gonna have to tell my significant, hold on, chop a finger off, and then we'll go live from the hospital.
Let's go live. But it was just crazy to see. And then from that headline, Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur, who has been making headlines since the NFL draft, he was projected to go first round pick, second round pick, third round pick. But people had speculated that the NFL they wanted to make an example of him because Shedeur is Deion Sanders' son. Like we said, Deion Sanders is not a humble man, right? Like he flaunts his success. He backs it up. And so there's nothing wrong with being, hey, if you got money and you have work ethic and you are doing great things, why can't you shout it from the rooftop?
Right.
It seems as if the NFL did not really like Shedeur's flashiness, wearing diamonds. You know, he is a young Black man, and we know in this era, our people, we like to stream. They're streaming. They have a crew around him. And so Shedeur didn't get picked in the first round. He was like the 35th pick on the second day. I'm like, well, damn, it's 2 days. Like, what the? And then that whole thing where, did you hear about how another coach's son called and pranked him? Like, and yeah, girl, because mind you, first of all, I love the streaming era. Like I could sit and I love some Kasana, I love Tota, I love Rakai. But so he's streaming this whole process. He had a whole pop-up shop the first day of the draft, and he had his brand labeled, like branded all over, and he's filming and he's waiting to be like the first round, second round, third round. And mind you, he did a hard launch and he didn't even get drafted. So maybe that's why Karrueche and Deion did this launch. And so the next day, he obviously didn't do anything and he's just at home, but they're still streaming. And so he gets a call from a team. I forget the name of the team. And they're like, yeah, we're really interested. We want to pull the trigger. And Shedeur's like, yeah, let's go to work. Da, da, da. And then the person on the other end is like, well, keep working, and hangs up. And finds out to be one of the coaches from an NFL team's son that like pranked it and recorded it and put it on social media. So like they really playing in Shedeur's face. And so Shedeur got drafted like the 35th, 37th to the Cleveland Browns. He's a quarterback. Cleveland Brown already has a quarterback. He's relatively like middle age. He still has maybe like 5 more seasons in him. They also last season got another young quarterback. And then they drafted Shedeur. So now it's 3 quarterbacks. And now they're in summer training and trying to figure out who is going to be their first round quarterback. Right. And Shedeur just has been through a lot, through all of this media, through all of this, whatever. And again, I feel like people don't like him because he's like a cocky Black man that comes from money. Right. They're going to make an example of him. And so regardless, he's at the Cleveland Browns. He's in training camp right now. Last week in a press conference, out of nowhere, the Cleveland Brown owner, Jimmy, they asked him a round of questions. One of the questions is about Shedeur. And he responds like, well, that Friday night, if you would have told me we'd be drafting Shedeur, I would have said you're lying. And he's like, yeah, it was really the GM who really wanted Shedeur. And so he was like, I didn't have anything to do with drafting Shedeur. Sir, Shedeur is on your team right now. Like, what do you think that's going to do to his morale from hearing from the, like,
it's giving he was hired because he knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. Like, and I hate it when people make it their business to humble Black men or women who are super successful. And sadly, that's what this is becoming, is like you said, he's being made an example of, but at what cost? Like now you start the season, he's been brought down by like to the last level. And now you want him to overperform for you. Like that's awful. And then it's replaying on social media, I'm sure on TikTok, everywhere. So when he feels like he's healed, I'm sure they'll bring it up in the middle of the season when he's performing well. Well, now they're so proud they have him, but it took a long road to get him here. He's never going to live it down. Like this will always be the narrative as long as he's on this team, you know?
And the crazy thing about it is, and this is why I've come to really like Deion, Shiloh, and Shedeur. Yeah, they might be privileged. And first of all, I love to see a privileged brown boy. They might be privileged. They come from money. But one thing about Deion that he has put into his boys, the work ethic. So it's been reports that the last 2 weeks at this training camp, Shedeur has been getting to practice 40 minutes early before practice has started, has been staying an hour after practice has ended for the last 2 weeks. And that's just his work ethic. He's been, I think, like 70% at throwing touchdowns. And so he's been shining at this camp. And so with that being said, if he's shining at this camp, why then would the owner of the team say and even if that's how you felt, keep it to yourself.
Yes, you're supposed to be a united front when it comes to the public. Like, we just forgetting that. That's awful. That's horrendous. You know what? Now I suddenly want to watch a game just to support him. I'm gonna get a jersey just because.
Well, you need to watch football because the men's be menning, okay? Like when I was growing up, I used to always think like, oh, football players. But I mean, first of all, with 4K, these football players, I'm just trying to tell you, you'll get something out of it. So it's so interesting to see whether or not Shedeur, if he'll be the first round quarterback for this team. He's really been showing out, but it's very clear that there is a sentiment from upper leadership that they don't really want him there, but that's not the end of his story. And so we will see. But I just like the fact that, yeah, he might be flashy. Yeah, he might be wearing his diamonds to practice, but he's getting to practice 40 minutes early. He's staying an hour later. Like, that's dedication. That's the hard work that someone like Deion Sanders has instilled in him. So excited to see, but I just wanted to put that on the topic. Now, girl, we got a topic that now, we said love is love, right? Now, y'all know I love my good girl, Laverne Cox. We know her from The Orange is Black. She has been a trans pioneer and breaking barriers for our Black trans women. She's been very vocal about just the advocacy of Black trans women. And I think it's really important because we know Black trans women get killed. Their cases go unsolved. Like, it's like they are discarded. It is like really horrible how we treat our Black trans women in general, but specifically our Black trans women population. There is a huge disparity. And so Laverne has been shaking things up. We love to see her. She is a very much A-list celebrity. She has landed multiple roles. She even has her own, I want to say it's like Amazon. She got her own like new series on Amazon that's actually pretty funny. Now, Laverne is gearing up to do a one-woman show at like some winery in Atlanta where she was selling tickets. And she gets on Instagram Live, say, to drum up promotion for her show. And she talks about a piece from her show about her ex-boyfriend from like 2020, maybe 2020 to 2023. They dated. And she says that throughout their relationship, she found out that he was MAGA and that he was a New York City police officer. And it's the way in the live that Laverne is kind of like romanticizing about like, oh, he was so amazing. I loved him. He was And so she posted a video. And you know, the internet going internet. And the internet is like, Laverne girl, what is you doing? And first of all, I was cracking up because anytime something like this happens, I go right to the comments. Okay. I pause it. I go right to the comments because the comments is where the action is. Everybody is like, Laverne, that's a secret you should have kept. We could have gone without this. And it brings this interesting topic up, right? Because we've said love is love, right? But at what point, right, when you are this Black trans woman, you are this advocate for trans rights and trans visibility, and you find yourself in this relationship with this man that's MAGA, and we know what the beliefs, and mind you, she said strong MAGA. Like, you know, like it wasn't just like, oh, it'd be different if she said Republican, right? Because because let's just be clear, Republican and MAGA, that's two different rounds. And so like the way that she put the emphasis on MAGA, white, blue eyes as well. She also added those descriptions in. We see the agenda of what they are doing to the LGBTQ. We see the platform that your president ran on of these trans women in the bathroom wanting to see little kids and like, you know, all of this stuff, trying to erase. And for you to be on Instagram Live telling us this story and then just the way that like you're romanticizing it and just like, oh, he was, God, I missed him. It just was a little off-putting, and the internet let her have it.
It's weird for her to be this spokesperson for all of these things that we adore her for, but then to simultaneously be with someone who hates all of those things about you. It's a conflicting idea. And we see it. This is the connective tissue to the another conversation that's actively occurring with Kenny and Janae. To be with someone who hates you, because that is what it is. Laverne is with somebody who does not actually like the things you stand for, because
The whole being.
you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, why are you with someone who's actively going against everything that you love? That's wild work. And it was like, when I saw the video, I was kind of like, let's delete this. But still standing 10 toes down. It's still out there in the ether because you were alive, and now it's going to be there forever. And it makes it a little, for me, it's a little questionable, because I think this was a bit in her show anyway. So I'm like, for me, I feel like you should take this out of your show, but I'm pretty sure she'll still run with it and reaffirm those ideas. And I'm like, I don't know. I think this is something you should have kept to yourself for sure. And the comment section was eating her alive. And kudos to her for leaving the comment section on, because my ass would have turned it off.
Absolutely. And so then it just brings us like this nuanced topic, right? Because again, love is love, right?
Yeah.
You meet a man, and again, she says when they met off of like a dating app, when she first started dating him, she did not know. And it wasn't until maybe 2020 with, you know, the social unrest, the murder of George Floyd and everything that happened, that I guess these conversations sparked. And that's when she found out all of this stuff. And so like she said, he has a good heart. And all of these, like, again, and she's like kind of still defending him. And it's like, it's just so weird, because it's like, and normally in instances, I feel like I'm pretty, you know, I get it. You know, I've danced with the devil a couple of times, a two in my day. Like, so I get it. But I just also feel like there has to come to a point though, where you have to love yourself enough. And that's kind of like, but then also with Laverne being a trans woman, like I can only imagine what she has had to experience growing up, the rejection. And sometimes the thing that rejects us the most, we tend to draw to it the most. Like, you know, what traumatizes us sometimes makes us feel safe. And so there is a realm in which I understand, and they are no longer together, but she says they still dated for like
together. That is wild.
It just was weird and interesting. And so a lot of people were talking. And so she even made another video and kind of was like doubling down and still like romanticizing about him and talk about the D. I'm like, Laverne, like, girl,
please.
First of all, what you got on the top of your head in this video?
Let's start there.
Okay, because I was like, well, girl, what, like,
there's something going on.
Girl, let's get some moose. Just, you know, but, and so it's just interesting, but I don't know. Laverne.
Literally all over the internet. And it's crazy, because I'm sure she was like, oh, this is a great story. They're going to love this. And we were like, no, tomatoes. I don't like it.
And just even stories like that, sometimes I'll be feeling like I want to share some things. And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm so happy for my discernment of like, no, keep that to yourself. Keep we don't need to go there. But again, still love Laverne, but yeah, baby, just, and then sometimes I just be feeling like, say, back here, girl, where are your friends? Like,
right.
Where are your girlfriends? You ain't run this by nobody.
It was crazy, as they probably sat in a circle and they were like, yeah, they gonna love this. We didn't love it.
We didn't. No, keep it to yourself. No, return it. Okay. And then our final story that I want to touch on is Hulk Hogan. He died a couple of weeks ago. Yes. And Hulk Hogan is an interesting figure, right? I feel like everybody growing up, there's no way you don't know who the Undertaker, Hulk Hogan is, Macho Randy Savage. You know, people would consider him an American like hero per se. And he has a pretty checkered past. I will say back maybe 2007, 2008, he came out with Hulk Hogan Knows Best.
Yes.
Now on VH1, baby, I was tuned in. Okay. I was tuned in and I fell in love with my girl, Brooke Hogan. And see my lips moving, but they don't say nothing but they all about love. Okay. Brooke Hogan's first album, I don't care what nobody says, it is underrated. I still listen to it to this day. But so Brooke was my girl. Okay.
What a wild time to be alive.
What a wild time. But Hulk Hogan is a known racist. Okay.
Yes.
A sex tape got released. He using the N-word. Brooke was first of all, in Hulk, which I find so interesting, and Hulk Hogan knows best. He was like the Kris Jenner of Brooke. He was really pushing Brooke to like pursue her music career. He got Scott Storch. Brooke is making art, like they were calling her a pop, but her first single is very black coded. It's very giving Pink's first single. And mind you, it's a jam, and we love Black Pink as well. Her first album, we love. But he is getting Scott Storch to make this urban song for Brooke to help her blow up. Brooke started dating a black man at some point in time. Hulk Hogan went on this interview and said he don't want his daughter dating no hard ER. And if she had to date a hard ER, he should be 6'7" and a basketball player that makes $500 million. We also know the controversy with Hulk Hogan and his son around the time of Hulk Knows Best. The son killed someone in a drunk driving, and then the audio tapes got leaked of him talking to his son in jail, and essentially like no emotion for the kid that died, and just nasty work. We also know he was the whistleblower in, I believe, like the WWE when they were trying to unionize.
Yeah.
So, although some people might hold him in high regards because of their childhood, it's given not R.I.P. but peace.
And we talked about legacies earlier, and this is one where like the legacy that he left behind is so much different than what Beyonce is leaving behind. And it's like, child, go on, let him rest. Like literally.
Yes.
When I heard it, I didn't even have a reaction to it. I just
same.
Was like, all right, he didn't like me, so you know what I mean? And that's sad. That is so sad because like you, I was in love with that show when like it had me. When we were watching linear TV and we were tuning in, we literally intentionally had to look at a TV guide and make it our priority to be home and watch this show that we loved. Like we were that invested. And then when all this news came out about him, it kind of was like, dang, like why was I supporting your ratings? Why was I watching this? And then he's done and gone. Even his involvement in the Trump administration when he was running, he's so it was like, okay, enough. Like to the point where it's like, thank God that era is over, you know? And that's such a crappy way to feel about somebody that you used to really enjoy.
That you idolize. Some people like idolize him. Yes. It's so crazy. But I bring the story up because like I said, and I stand 10 toes down, Brooke Hogan's first album has jams, okay? To the point that like one of my best friends, Sarah, like I have like 3 songs on there that I like when I'm in my house sipping and I'm feeling a little sad. She got a song on there that hits, and I always will send it to my friend, and my friend be like, stop sending me this. But I say this, and mind you, listen, go stream Brooke Hogan's first album. Y'all, you will not... I have never led the posse wrong. But what is interesting is that after that interview that Hulk Hogan did about Brooke's current boyfriend at the time, Brooke cut ties with her dad. Like she was like, I don't want to be involved with anything like this. I don't stand for this misogyny, this homophobia that he is spewing, this negativity, this racism. Like she was estranged from her father and mother more for reasons that like when Hulk Hogan, and then also Hulk Hogan cheated on his best friend's, he slept with his best friend's wife.
Crazy.
So then the mother, Hulk Hogan and his wife, they divorced, and then the wife took it out on Brooke. So Brooke had to stop talking to her whole family. And to the point that Brooke got married now. She has twins. And in 2003, Brooke petitioned the courts that she didn't want any money from her father's will. And I was like, wow,
that says something. Clean break.
That really does.
Security money. Yeah, it's like, that's big.
That says a lot, because there's people that talk the talk, but that is definitely walking the walk of being like, I don't want any of that. Now, I am honest here. If Hulk Hogan was my dad and he did those things, yes, I would absolutely separate myself. But I'm gonna sit at that will read, and I will.
I'm gonna hear him out. That's awful.
5 million.
Listen, but you know everybody's thinking it. Everybody's saying, like, we get it. You've seen it for the cause, Brooke, but like, you can do so much more with the money, honey. You could actually invest that into a cause that he stood against.
Yes, you can support Black businesses.
Yes.
So funny how why I love the comments online, because like in Laverne, where people are like, girl, keep that to yourself. Everyone, and like when people were posting about the story about how Brooke wants none of the will money, people in the comments was like, baby girl Brooke, we get you, but go ahead and cash that check. And or like people will be like, Brooke, we'll turn the eye. We'll turn the eye for that. Like, Brooke, get your money.
The comment sections will take y'all are funny. Like, the internet is funny. Like, I thought I was funny, but sometimes when I read these comments, I'd be like, yo, it could not be me. I would have to turn my comment section off, because why am I laughing at you roasting me? It is so funny. I love it, love it, love it. And Brooke, she should go and get that check. Like, let's get it together.
Listen, you can invest in Black-owned businesses, invest in different stuff. Like, but kudos to her for standing on business. And sometimes, like, the people that we are derived from, they might not be the best people. And so maybe you do have to distance yourself. And kudos to anybody that has had to go no contact with family, because that is not an easy thing. And so we're always brought up, honor thy mother, honor thy father. But baby, some people have been through some things. And so that takes a strong person.
It's insane. I mean, you're right. Everything you said is right about this. I'm actually surprised that Brooke is so, what's the right word? Even keel. Like, she didn't let a lot of that rub off onto her, and she is standing up for something, because that even means a lot to me. Like, she actually has her own thought processes and like doesn't agree, and is so outspoken about not agreeing with her dad, who is idolized by some people. Like, she didn't care about the kickback from whatever she had to say, and I appreciate that. So kudos to her. Yeah. Maybe I'll listen to her track, because
go stream the album. Now I'm trying to tell you, say it really is a bop. The album is a bop. Like, this was such a good time. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out to come jump on the Casual Tea with me this month. But I keep my ears to the TikToks and the Instanets, and I see you out here delivering us these amazing interviews. If someone has not seen these interviews that you are doing, first of all, what I love about Say is I'll be online a lot more than I should be. And so I love when 4 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep. I go on TikTok and Say it's like, hey, y'all, I got this idea. I want to do a podcast. Let's do it together. Then the next video is like, okay, we taking notes. What y'all want me to talk about? Next video. So y'all, I think I might need a co-host. What y'all think? First of all, I live for like that real-time engagement. And so like, please, could you tell the Purple Pants Posse, like, what you got going on? Like, tell us what you do over there.
First, let me thank you for inviting me to the Casual Tea. Like, I've had so much fun. But then on my TikTok, just real Say on it, because I think there's a lot more anonymity over there. Like, I just don't feel judged. I don't have any of my coworkers, so I just do whatever I want to. I've had the pleasure of interviewing so many people from the CBS universe. That's the one thing I will give them. They have hit it on the nose with the amazing people that they find with all these interesting stories. So I just finished interviewing Star. Love it. I'm not posting for a little bit. I'm going to bank a bunch of content. I have some amazing interviews with David, some clips that I still haven't released that are just funny because he's insane. And then I just had the privilege of interviewing Couture and Sabaya. If I could live in their skin, I'd be okay with it. I've asked to be their third so many times. It is insane. I'm like, and I had to stop myself from engaging with some of the content because I'm like, this is getting creepy. Like, at some point I must be talking. But over there, we're having real conversations. I just talk about whatever. I want to shoot the shit all the time with all of the people, which you have to come on at some point because I think we would have a ball. But I like every episode to be about something very specific to that person that we can kiki about, or like it has to feel real because a lot of the things that I feel like on the internet don't feel real to me. Like it feels very performative. Yours is very real because I'm like, oh, this is exactly how Brice talks in real life. These are the things he's interested in. Like I live for it. So that's what's happening on TikTok.
Yes. So make sure if you're listening, if you're not already following, head over there to follow her because she really is putting out great stuff and she's making us feel a part of the conversation, which I love. And it's been such a pleasure. So I can't say thank you enough. And this can't be thank you for being the first time you're here, but this can't be your last time. I have to have you back at some point in time. So I'm not even asking you. I'm just telling you, you'll be back. Yeah. I can't thank you enough. Okay. We'll be back next month with your Casual Tea. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Love to hear your thoughts, comments on the subjects. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.